Hi, this is Mrs. Carter. Thank you so much for your interest in this Italy trip that we're taking in March of 2020. It's going to be an amazing trip, and I'm really excited to tell you all about it. So, first of all, we're going over spring break. We don't know the exact dates yet because EF is still working with other travel groups who will be going to the same region as us, and they're also still working with the airline. So, we have this kind of window that we know of in which we will be going on the trip. We know that it will go over our spring break, but it could start Wednesday, March 18th, which is before spring break. And the latest we would return would be Monday, March 30th after spring break. So you're going to miss a couple of days of school. So you're going to want to make sure that you keep track of your absences second semester. This is also an educational tour, so I think we can make an argument to administration if for some reason you're going over absences second semester and this causes some problems. But spring break is going to be our date that we are getting out of town and going to Italy. So let me give you a minute to talk to you about EF as my educational tour travel partner. So EF has been a world leader in international education. They have 50 plus years of experience in taking tour groups on different tours. There's over 500 schools. EF has different really interesting schools throughout the world, and there's offices in 53 countries. There's a local office in Italy itself, so if we encounter any sort of issues, we have boots on the ground right there, people that can help us right away. One awesome thing that's great about EF is that they're accredited just like a school, so you can get high school credit. You can also earn college credit for this trip. And EF also offers the lowest price. They guarantee us the lowest price. So the reason why I decided to go with EF is because they are just an amazing company and they kind of provide the whole package in these tours to make it the best experience possible for you. So there's a 24/7 tour director with these tours. The tour director is someone who speaks English and the local language. The tour directors are phenomenal for EF. Everyone that we've had on different trips has just been outstanding. There's a really strong local presence as well. So if we happen to encounter any sort of issues, EF is right there. There are other people right there ready to help us. There's a 24-hour emergency line, so you can always get in touch with your traveler, or you can always get in touch with someone on, the tour itself. There's also a peace of mind policy, and this is a really great policy in which if something were to come up, like if there were happened to be a crazy weather situation or something like that, and our tour, we couldn't fly in like we needed to because of weather related or some major issue happening, then EF will guarantee us this trip at another point or the equivalent of this trip. So it's really kind of a great policy that they have. They have lots of safety policies in place too. This is a really, really safe tour group to be with. They have so much experience over all the years that they've been doing this. And I've traveled with them quite a few times and have just been really, really impressed with the care that they take to make sure that all their travelers are kept safe. And they also support my safety policies that I have in place for all of my travelers as well. We do group travel, so that means that depending upon the size of our Italy group, we will be paired up with another school. And this is really cool because then you get to meet kids from somewhere else in the United States and experience this trip with them and make lifelong friendships. Group travel also helps keep our tour affordable. So we are sharing these luxury, wonderful buses with another group. It allows more of us to be able to see the world because EF does offer the best prices possible too. So this is a really great aspect of EF. So in case you're interested, you can earn high school credits. I don't know that any of you guys traveling on this will need it, but you can talk to me about it. You can also earn college credit too. So you can do college level work and you can earn 3 credits for this trip. You do have to pay for those credits. You get yourself signed up for them, but it would kind of be a great thing for you to go on this amazing trip, and then you actually will come out of it with some college credit as well. One of the things that I think is really awesome about this trip too is that it really will inspire your personal essays for college applications and college scholarships. So yes, you will be filling out some of those now, probably before we go on our trip, but there'll be lots of time after our trip, lots of opportunities for scholarships, and lots of colleges that you may be applying to as well after this trip. And what they're looking for, how you've changed over time. What are some things that have really impacted you? This trip could be one of those things for you. So there's so many amazing things that come out of being on this trip. So let me talk about the itinerary. I have mentioned that the name of this tour company is Education First, and there are all of these opportunities here like these to get credit. That doesn't mean that we're reading textbooks and we're doing all sorts of work on this trip. It just means that the local tour guides that are with us and our tour director are so knowledgeable about these places that we go to that we really get kind of this really in-depth, rich look at all of these places that we're visiting that you don't get from a tourist guidebook. And so it really is, you just learn so much. You learn so much about the history and the different regions that you're in. So here you can see a map of all the places that, excuse me, that we're going to. One of the things I love about this trip is that for most of the places that we're going to, we're staying 2 nights. And that means that we get to have more of a local experience. We get to feel like locals because we'll know our surroundings a little bit better by the second day, and we'll get to go to these little side street coffee shops or gelato places where more of the locals go and get away from so much of the touristy stuff. And we don't feel quite as rushed. So we'll be able to kind of relax, have a couple of nights at these hotels and move around. But you can see the range of places that we're going. And yes, we are doing the Pompeii, Sorrento, Capri region, and we're staying 1 night there. So that's, I think, what really makes this trip extra special, is that we're going to hit some of those really unique places. So here's just some images of some of the amazing places that we're going to go. I don't have time to go into detail on all of the really great places that we're going to. We will have sightseeing tours, so these are led by local experts, and they're licensed local guides. We get 6 of those actually with our extension. We do get entrances into Doge's Palace, into the glass blowing demonstration, Basilica of St. Francis, the Sistine Chapel, St. Peter's Basilica, the Colosseum, the Roman Forum, the Pompeii Roman ruins, and a Capri boat cruise. All of those things are included in the price. And so we are going to be hitting all those things plus so much more. I have a flyer that I will give to either you, or I can send it to you or your parents, but I'll probably just send it home with student travelers who are interested in this, and they can show it to parents. But it goes through the itinerary in a lot more detail, so you can see everything that it covers. But we're going to see all the sites that you would want to see if you were to go to Italy. And of course, we'll get to enjoy local food. So we do get to experience authentic European breakfasts, and dinners are also included. And of course, those will be authentic Italian meals. But lunches are on our own, and that's when you really get to explore and experience the local food realm. And so you get to go to little hole-in-the-wall places, or you get to go get your gelato somewhere, or your amazing coffee when you're out and about, and it's just going to be a phenomenal experience. So let me tell you what's included in this. So round trip airfare, we usually fly Delta, but not always. And so it's a really great experience with them. We do stay in safe, quality hotel rooms. So when I traveled to England and Scotland, there was a lot of Best Westerns that we stayed at, which was interesting. I don't know what hotels we will be staying at in Italy, but they are safe hotels where you can lock your stuff up. There's also private bathrooms, so it's not like a dormitory situation. You will have, 2 to 4 kids in a room, depending upon the hotel that we're at. So it gives you an opportunity to get to know other kids, but there are private bathrooms in all those, which is really great. Our 24/7 bilingual tour directors. So again, this person is on the bus. They meet us at the airport and they're with us 24/7. And these tour directors are awesome. So if you want to go and you're like, I really want to find a local bookstore, then you tell the tour director that, and he or she will say, hey, I think these are awesome places that you should go. On-tour transportation, these are amazing buses that we get. They're not school buses, they're luxury buses with the most incredible bus drivers you've ever seen. There's an educational itinerary, which I talked about, guided tours and activities, which I also went through quickly, and they're in the brochure. Breakfast and dinner daily, so breakfast at the hotel and then dinner at different places. 24/7 on tour assistance, so if anything were to happen on tour, someone is there immediately. There's a traveler support team to help us as we get going, a tour donation page. So this is a great opportunity for grandparents or aunts and uncles to donate, maybe for your senior gift or for Christmas or a birthday, they can donate to this, to your trip and help you pay for it. There's an educational platform and an Uncommon App College Essay Toolkit, which you can use. You get a little travel backpack and the Global Travel Protection Plan, which I mentioned before. The things you have to cover, you need to get your passport, any extra airport baggage fees. We'll talk about airport stuff later. Spending money, so the money that you want to spend on all the cool stuff you'll buy, lunches and snacks, and tips. So tips are going to average out to be about $10 a day per traveler. So it depends on how many days we're there. So probably about 110, 120 dollars is something that you will give to me up front, and I use that to tip our tour director, who, trust me, you will want to tip this person. Our local guides, they are all phenomenal, and our bus drivers. So, and of course, if you wanted college credit, you have to pay for that on your own. So here is the total price. Here you can see that it covers the round trip airfare, all of those things that I mentioned, and our extension. We are going over a weekend, so it's 35. Global travel protection, this I can talk to you about more one-on-one, but this is really great in case of a plane delay. It covers any fees. Luggage gets lost or damaged or something, it covers that. You get sick on the trip, it covers that. So the global travel protection, I insist that we all have that in the cost because it's just insurance essentially for us. So yes, this is a decent chunk of money, but when you think about everything that's included, this is an all-inclusive except for essentially your lunches, any souvenirs, and the tip. And so you can't beat this price anywhere. This breaks it down to 6 monthly payments if you want that. This was created on today's the 24th that I'm recording this, and so this is the up-to-date amount for that. Adults can go too, so if parents want to go on this with their student for their senior trip, adults are welcome to go. It's an increased price because it's 2 adults per room. Instead of the students where it's 2 to 4, so there's more students there. So hopefully you're really interested in this. It's limited space available, and we're right at the tail end of this. So I'd like to get this buttoned up in a couple of weeks and make sure that we have our group finalized so that EF can now start making plans. So if you go to eftours.com, it'll prompt you for this code here. You type in this code, and that takes you to our travel page. And you can reserve your spot for just 95 bucks, and then you figure out your payment plan after that. So you can take care of all those things. Again, I will give the traveler interested in this trip a pamphlet to send home, and also a larger pamphlet that talks about some of the ins and outs of traveling and everything, and it gives you more detailed information, like the fine print, essentially, on payment and stuff like that. So if you have any questions, please let me know. My email is teegan.carter, so Tegan Carter, tegan.carter@boiseschools.org. My phone number is 208-392-7542. If you have any questions, you can call me, you can text me, you can shoot me an email, but I also will see your student travelers in class too, so questions can be relayed that way as well. So hopefully this gives you an overview of what's included in the trip, why it's so phenomenal, and of course what the cost is. And again, this is really going to be a trip of a lifetime. So I hope that you consider this and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you so much.